Van Bynen is running for Parliament. Van Bynen, who retired from Newmarket Town Council last fall, has decided to seek the Liberal nomination for the riding of Newmarket-Aurora. Vaughan City Council is expecting extra money from the federal gas tax fund. Council says it received a notification from Ottawa that they will receive $9 million more than expected. The mother of a Georgina baby abandoned at a town hall has been found. York Regional Police Special Victims Unit says they have identified and located the mother and is relieved to report that she is safe and sound. Sunny in the forecast, finally, 19. This update is brought to you by Frank Catolo on 148.ca. More Larry King style. Frank on the King column on 148.ca/Frank. I'm Philip Hong, and that is the latest from SRN National News.
The starter has called the field to the gate. This field is in motion and approaching the start. And they're off. And it's a battle into the first turn for control. The battle continues by the half and approaching the far turn. Stride for stride.
Hey, whoa, hold it. Cut. We don't have time for the intro song with all of the horses' names and me talking, because I have to talk. We all have to talk. Things are rolling fast here tonight on North American Harness Update. Ray Catolo going to bring in Mike Prebosi, Ron Adams Jr. The NAHU Pick4 Wii-U is getting ready to go at the raceway at Western Fair. They have 0 minutes to post for the first leg of this $5,000 guaranteed sequence. They're already parading. Don't they know we have a show to do? But we have to run on their clocks, on their Eastern Daylight Time monitors as this first leg. Oh, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give out our tickets for this sequence. We'll roll through maybe some key races. Here's my ticket for the NAHU Pick4 at the Raceway Western Fair District. I am 3-6 with 2-3-4-5 with 2-3-4 with 1-3-7-8, 19-20 for 20 cents. Mike, your play.
It's 4-5-6-7 with 2-3-5 with 3-4 with 3-4-5. It's 14-40.
Fantastic. You sound well nourished. Rod, your ticket.
All with 2-3 with 1-3-4-8 with 3-4. It's 25-60. Bang bang.
There. Now you can't say we didn't give you losing tickets. Okay, so this sequence, 4 races, 7 through 10, as it is every race night at the Raceway. It's the last 4 races. Rod, our resident expert for Western Fair, on our website, www.NAHU.PICKS. That spells NAHU Picks, and does not spell Chevrolet. Rod, well, tell us about how exactly you approach this sequence, because right off the bat, an interesting strategy you have here, just taking all of them in the first leg.
Yeah, I went all in the first leg because there's really nothing that stands out to me. I mean, the 6 Knickers with Steve Byron should be forwardly placed again, but, does not have to win. Is not going very quick times over at Flamborough, which is a much faster track than London is. So, I don't see anything that stands out here, and I just didn't really like anything early in the sequence, in the front leg anyways. The second leg, I went to kind of the inside here. I think the inside 3 horses are the 3 best horses in the race. I went against the 1 Dolly because, she's got the rail, but she doesn't really have early speed. So I'm thinking maybe she ends up sitting 3rd on the rail here. And, she could pocket up, but I don't see her getting out at that point. So I'm against her a little bit. The third leg, I'm 4 deep. I think there's several different scenarios in this race because you've got horses with early speed. You got horses that can come from off the pace. So it's really going to depend on setup in the first half of the race to see what happens late there. And then the final leg I thought was pretty simple. It's the 2 favorites, in my opinion. They're both going to get bet there, and they should run first and second, in my opinion, the ones that I use, the 3 and 4.
All right, so we got a minute to go on the countdown clock. Mike, maybe you can explain this a bit for me, because you do use this horse on the ticket. The 7 Absent Hanover from the Luke Blay barn, currently on the board at 3 to 5 from that outside post. I understand he's shipping from Mohawk, but why should I think that he's that much of a cinch over the half?
I just think it's connections. When Blade brings it in, he's 26%. Usually he has higher end things. His horse is very well bred. Got a easy prep, and that's pretty normal for him out of the 9-hole first time. And then May 18th, and that was 5 days later, shipped to Flamin was 1 to 9 and crushed. And now we're starting to get into the stakes races. I don't feel like the horse should be 4 to 5 necessarily in the race, but it's a lot of people play these connections, and I think that's where the money's coming. Like Rod said, there's not really any other standouts in the race. I don't mind the 6 in the race, though. I mean, it's backs. Byron's there to drive. He's been driving at Woodbine mostly, and he can get away from there.
Yeah, because for the fact that this horse comes in off a win from a pocket trip from the inside post and now has one of the hardest posts to work with at London, to me, 4 to 5 is just way too short of a price, even if it was Jesus H. Christ Superstar listed as the trainer and the driver, no less. Because if it was just the trainer, I would definitely not consider. But trainer-driver, now that's the definition.
I'm going to make a new rule that says we can't use the Lord's name in vain on this show ever.
Well, I was not using it in vain. I was using it more in an
What's the H stand for?
What? What's the H stand for?
Yeah.
Jesus, it's Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Jesus,
I'm offended.
Jesus Christ.
We can't do that.
He's such a great person. He has his first name in his name twice. They're getting ready to go here for the first leg of the NAHU Pick4 at the Raceway. The starting gate moving into position. Current favorite on the board at 4 to 5. The 7 Absinthe Hanover. Second choice then at 7 to 2. The 6 Knickers. Third choice then at 5 to 1 towards the inside. Miss Black Diamond Duke. It's a field of 8. I'm live to the 3-6. Mike's got the 4, 5, 6, 7. Rod, I'm thinking he just forgot the 7th started the Pick4, and he just took all of them. But he still got all of them as they're lining up here for the first of 4 in this Pick4 sequence. What, do you expect that to be 5 races? You're nuts. You're crazy. You're out of your mind. Phil's lining up and swinging into the stretch. Field of 8 in motion and approaching the start. And now they're off and trotting with towards the inside. Miss Black Diamond Duke showing speed. Sorority Secret 2 towards the inside pushes out, moving into that first turn. Away third then comes Alveston Tracy is off stride. Goes Victoria Has a Secret to the quarter. So on top here, Sorority Secret pockets Miss Black Diamond Duke. Alveston Tracy sits in third to the backside. Miss Swedish behind them in fourth. Away fifth comes Absinthe Hanover, ahead then of Angelic Speed, then towards the back, Knickers and Victoria Has a Secret moving to that opening quarter. The pace here set by Sorority Secret in 29 and 4, leads by about a length and 3/4 from Miss Black Diamond Duke sitting second. Back third, Alveston Tracy gapped about 3 lengths from the top. Miss Swedish remains inside fourth, moving to the stands first time. Absinthe Hanover then fifth as Angelic Speed tries to flush cover moving into the stretch first time. Absinthe Hanover sticks inside going to that half mile. So Sorority Secret faces no pressure while Ms. Black Diamond Duke now loosely from the pocket gaps 2 1/4. Alveston Tracy third through a 101 and 4/2, a 32-second quarter as now Sorority Secret gains separation. Ms. Black Diamond Duke on the right line there loses ground into the back stretch. Alveston Tracy vacates the cones now to try and circumpass that one to the inside. Then Miss Swedish locked in by Angelic Speed, progressing slightly to the 3/4. Absinthe Hanover, the favorite, then locked towards the back of the pack by Knickers, and then Victoria Has a Secret past 3/4 in 132. Miss Black Diamond Duke resurgent here, and not only a length and a half off the lead into the final turn, but Alveston Tracy advances towards the inside for fourth, and Alveston Tracy's full of trot, turning for home, trying to chase down Sorority Secret as they're homeward bound. Alveston Tracy angles out of the pocket from second, but Sorority Secret holding strong into the final 16, and Sorority Secret gonna win here by about a length in the end. Alveston Tracy got second then in 2:02 and 2. Okay, so 18 to 1. Rod
bang, bang.
gets it by virtue of forgetting to handicap that race.
God, how did the 5 lose the race from there? I mean, Jesus. That's so bad.
I don't know. I'm gonna refrain from commenting.
Here's what happened.
Oh
I came up the inside and then realized that she didn't want to be the lone horse on the lead because she gets scared. She's scared to be the only horse on the lead. That means everyone's behind her. Horses can't
By the
stay
way,
behind
that
you, know?
what was that horse? 12
That was
to
a
1.
good move, Rod, to take all in that race. That was, oh boy.
Well, I could have went too deep. That was my second pick on NAHUPicks.com.
The 2.
Yeah.
Wow. 0 for 10. Ran last time. You like this horse?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that was definitely a strange race considering, too, the 3 was incredibly green for that second half of the mile. Lost all that ground, then came back, then just lost that ground again immediately.
I don't know. That was just really weird.
Not very
I needed
good.
the 5, though. That would have been a lot better start. Yeah.
As it comes in 2-5. Who's third? Exactly.
3?
Right.
7.
So
2,
Rod,
5, 4, 7.
so Rod's alive in the NAHU Pick 4 at the Raceway. We'll join back with them as race 8 comes up. Now it's going to be like 40 minutes till their next race, I bet you, since they had to hurry through all these other ones.
18 to 1.
It's just, 18 to 1 on Sorority Secret, taking them wire to wire.
Should have been 118 to 1.
Should have been 1,000 to 1.
Should have been 6 to 1 since we had that horse second choice on NAHUPicks.com.
Yes, it feels like the 2010s hearing the sweet sirens of the blowhorn, which brings me back to my oceanic days of whale watching. Did you guys know that there's actually a whale that makes that sound? It's because of massive tumors in its vocal cords. Very sad thing. But we must move on. We must move on from tiger sharks and whale lords into the Can-Am Pick 4. Very similar, if you ask me. As each and every week, Mohawk Park and the Meadowlands say, hey, you know, we're part of the same continent. We're North America. That's not Canada saying that. That's them together going, we're part of the same continent. Let's work together. And they put their hands up and go, yeah, with this Pick 4 sequence. 4 races in the course of 40 minutes. Races 10 and 11 from Woodbine Mohawk Park and 10 and 11 from the Meadowlands. Comprise this sequence. We'll dive straight into it, starting with the 10th race at Woodbine Mohawk Park. It's the first leg of the Can-Am Pick 4. This will be the other sequence of races we'll provide live coverage of tonight. And everything else we're going to be talking about is in Futureland. You won't be able to see them until the future. But for now, we have a close future. We could say it's the present coming up. Race 10, 4-year-old and younger, non-winners of 2 Billion Mare Pacers lining up here. A field of, I believe, 10 going postward. I am correct, as I so often am. And our resident Mohawk expert, Mike Rebosi, joins us, as he always does, each and every week. If you thought he didn't join us, then that's just on you. You should be an avid follower of the show. You should have the T-shirts, the fridge magnets. You should have the bumper stickers, everything that just shows you are a NAHUian. You are a NAHUligan. You are a jerk. Mike Rebosi. I think that's what we should coin our fans as, jerks. That's very much a great PR move. Mike, our resident Mohawk expert, first leg of this Can-Am Pick 4 sequence. Surprisingly, you do not go as deep as the rest of us. You're only taking 2 horses in this first leg.
Yeah, I mean, this is nowhere to 2, but some of these horses raced nowhere to 3 last time. I feel like it's, a 2-horse race. And, my top pick's the 3 Manhattan Knight. This horse has raced very well this year despite not winning. 2 seconds and a third for top connections. Was very good last time. Second to Sports Flick, who was very good at 2. This horse has knocked on the door all year, and I feel like that, should get a nice trip from this inside post, has enough gate speed to be on it early, and is definitely the one to beat. And then the other horse I use is the 7 Lady Driver. Came out of that same race, had an early break for Jamison, and still ended up, recovering, rallying to beat only 5 lengths, coming home 28-2. The previous race in an SBOA, Stake a Limb, the horse wasn't bad, was only beaten less than 2. those were tough races. This horse, I think, with Jameson back, if she could stay flat, she's going to be right there also. She's just better than most of these. And I'm just going to, go short on this race, go a little bit deeper later. I'm 3-7 to start.
Now, Rod, this is the track Mike knows more about than you. What makes you think you got to go 4 deep in the first leg of the sequence?
I thought it was a bit more wide open myself. I actually didn't even use the 3 Manhattan Knight just because Safdie's driving. He's batting 130, so it's tough for me to use him. But I'm 4 deep here, starting with the one Lady Maya. From the rail, it's Louis Waugh, Blake McIntosh, coming off a win, and a pretty good win, actually, and the non-winners one. Steps up a notch, but I think is good enough and should get a nice trip with a big post shift back inside. So this is actually the first time she's drawn inside the 7-hole this season. I think maybe she's a decent value play. The 2, Charmbro Bree, finished a good second in the qualifier, and obviously has missed a bunch of time, but made $36,000 last year in 13 starts. So this horse definitely has some talent, and she faced some decent horses toward the end of the year before calling it quits. I think if she gets the right setup, she can be coming late. The 4, Red River Jane, Sylvain Filion jumps on, and she's been razor sharp for several weeks in a row now, 6 times in the money in 7 starts and 30,000 earned. So she's a tough one to leave off, especially with the way she's been racing lately. And then the 7, Lady Driver, Jody Jameson for his wife Stephanie, takes a slight drop in class after a break, which is a little bit concerning, but I'm not too worried about it because this horse, it's the only time she's shown a break. Obviously needs to stay flat, so I think you're going to see a little bit of a conservative drive off of the car, and then he's going to end up putting this filly in play. Even after that break last week, 55-2 last half, she was pretty impressive from where she was, so I think you got to have her as a good price play as well. 1, 2, 4, 7.
All right, I'll keep this short and sweet, very much like me, but taller. Charmbro Bree qualified well for her, from her first start of the season. Comes in off a 28-3 final score with a 156.4 mile. Pardon me. As Rod was mentioning, did race well against Similar as a 2-year-old towards the tail of the season. She draws well enough if she's good on her first start, she could win from this spot as opposed to if she had the 10-hole. Otherwise, she just looks like a live contender if some of the better ones don't show up. Like the 3 Manhattan Knight, who just keeps not winning, as we've all mentioned. Lots of seconds, lots of thirds, fourths. The only ones she has are from the qualifiers that don't really count. So maybe now she has the right competition to finally win against, since there's not as strong of competitors here. At least she should win given her back class as well as also her gate speed in a race that doesn't really have that much speed to begin with. However, Red River Jane 2 starts back, finished second by 7 lengths against this group. If you look at the horses she finished second to, she was second to Sunny D, who went on to win the SBOA final last Saturday. Right there, you already have a bit of back class in this horse's favor. The problem is she just doesn't get off the car quick enough. She's usually making up ground late, but has too much ground to make up late. So if she can somehow find a compromise between the two, like she was able to get 3 starts back on April 18th, maybe she can hit the wire first. If not, then maybe even the 7. We've all talked about Lady Driver. She broke last time, probably trying to leave, was bet down to 8-1, still gave chase to finish 7th. The start before that, 2 starts back in the SBOA eliminations, showed a ton of speed, and it just seemed like she was locked in, finishing 5th by less than 2 lengths at odds of 18-1. Otherwise, she has some decent miles against Similar down south in Pocono, Dover, so on and so forth. But she can probably show speed, but the goal will definitely be to make sure she does not break behind the gate. 2, 3, 4, 7 for me in the first leg of the Can-Am. Shift over to the Meadowlands. Second leg of the Can-Am. Race 10 from the Meadowlands racetrack. We got numbers of $17,500 trotters lining up. Field of 10. Now, pardon me. Mike, we'll start with you. This is definitely a hybrid class because you just took all of the classy ones to the outside.
Yeah, I think that those are the horses that need to be taken. Some of these inside ones, I wasn't crazy about the way they raced last week, so I'm going to shift outside. The 7 You Need Stones missed the week, but was in against $50 bill last time. No chance in that race. Prior to that, at this level, won fairly easily. I had won at that point 3 out of 4 races. So the horse is fast enough. It draws a little better than some of these ones at the outside. So I think you have to use the 8 Per Lucky. It was racing open handicaps at Yonkers, and had some difficulty there. Last time with a break from an outside post, pitched that. If you look prior to that, the horse was racing very well against very difficult horses. And, the big track probably, with this horse's style shouldn't hurt because it likes to come off the pace. You never know what kind of drive you're going to get with Tron, but he's capable. The 9, Henderson Steelster, is kind of a throw-in for me. Won last time, numbers a 9,000 off the drop, but was third in that $50 bill race at 70 to 1. There's no either one of those 2 horses that he finished behind in this race. So you probably could get a little bit of a price with this one. And then the 10, My Lindy Winner. I like the 2 races, the last 2. For a Dreamer was second to that one. That horse is very good. And then, raced well enough last time to just get beat less than a length. Kicked home in 27 and 3. T-Trick Sticks. And, you get 8 to 1 morning line. You won't get that. This horse has won 6 out of 9 this year. Sharp enough. Hard to leave off for me. 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now, Rod, you're also 4 deep in this race. That really you only need to take 2 horses.
No. You got to take 4.
I did.
I'll start inside with the 2. Say You Do has been red hot recently. 3 wins in the last 5 starts. Last week finished second. Raced very well on the front end. Got pressured the whole way. And still just got caught late. I think from the inside you're going to see this horse fire once again. Make the lead early and possibly even take the pocket trip and pop late at a pretty decent price, I think. The 7, You Need Stones, is the obvious one here. Andy McCarthy for Ron Burke. Another one that's won 3 out of the last 5. In very good form right now. Big last quarter last week. It's just tough not to have this horse. The 9, Henderson Sealster, also in very good form. Brian Sears stays on tonight, which is a good thing. And this horse has early gate speed to overcome the outside post. So I think you're going to see Brian be aggressive once again. And then the 10, My Lindy Winner. You can't doubt the form. Slight step up in class doesn't really bother me because Tim Tetrick stays on the drive. And the horse has just been really, really sharp lately. So even from post 10, I think you got to give this one a look. And you're going to get fair value from out there as well. 2, 7, 9, 10.
Of all the possible outcomes from this race, there are 2 that just outweigh any other possible horse having a chance to win this race. You Need Stones, first things first, gave chase to finish 4th against $50 bill and mission accepted last out, kicking him in 26 and 3 to finish 4th there. While the horse does have gate speed, he might also race better from off a helmet, but at the end of the day, he could race from either way, and it's going to be tough to tell which method McCarthy's going to end up using when they line up behind the gate. But that's not necessarily my job to figure that out, because if You Need Stones has that much ground to make up, while he can sprint to the wire, Henderson Sealster might already have a jump on him. This horse is probably going to get the lead, even though their speed is inside with Say You Do. Pierce Wave Hanover scratched, so he's probably not going to show speed, I would assume at least, as well as Tough Mac. She's on a cruise. Those are kind of the kind of potential pace catalysts to this race. Even though Henderson Sealster probably just gets the top, tries to go all the way. He can go all the way, but the only threat he's probably going to have is the class of the race, which is the 7, You Need Stones. I don't really see much need to try and get cute here in this race. This is the race I'm going to try and cheapen up, because those 2 outcomes seem much more likely than anything else happening here. I'll spread out for some prices in later races.